I had a question. I wasn't quite sure, and I knew that we were coming here and we're able to talk about budgets. We had approved a truck for the fire truck for $746,000 and some change, and the total spent was $759. Did we have a change order that we didn't look at or approve on June the 1st or after June the 1st? Are we supposed to approve change orders and amend the budget, or how does that work?
As far as I know, yes, you're supposed to approve change orders and amend the budget.
Actually, if you overspend on it, the whole thing's void. The purchase is void under the law.
Did you ask the chief about it?
Well, it shows that we approved $746,000, Barbie, and then we spent $759. I mean, I think we can talk about this in the council meeting.
Well, I didn't know if the chief had a reason for it.
Well, aren't we supposed to see the change order?
Well, I mean, the chief can't approve
No, I don't mean approve it. I mean, was there a reason for the increase, if there was something that was in addition to that?
But what I'm saying is, aren't we supposed to see the change order?
I think so.
Okay.
But
I mean, whatever the reason is, we still should have seen the change
Part
order.
of equipment that may have been purchased on the side.
It could be.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and if it is, it is in his budget, and if it is equipment that he purchases on the side for that truck.
But we paid $759, so we didn't see the change order, that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about other equipment, I'm talking about the purchase of the truck. You guys know better than me.
We wrote a check for $759,000, and the bid was $746, and it wasn't documented what the extra money was for.
I don't know if we wrote a check for that one.
We did.
Okay.
In August.
Well, the fire chief is right now on two different fire calls in the city. Right now.
But this is just, that has nothing to do with the chief.
Yes, I'm asking
No,
about
I wanted to have the chief to be able to explain it, is what I
Can we
want.
report back at the next meeting or the next day or two?
Let's
Get
not-
the information back, nobody here knows.
Well, that's not, the procedure is
Yes.
not right.
Well, it's probably that,
The
if the facts that I'm hearing you say are correct, there's a problem.
The procedure is not correct, regardless of what they spend. It may be a very legitimate expense. But if you bid $740,000 for a truck, and then you write a check for something different without any documentation for it, that's illegal. So, I guess we need an answer to that from someone. Yeah, if it was an amendment to that, and you needed a change order or something like that, then that needs to come before the council. But you can't bid something and then turn right around and write a check for a different amount without the council's approval. That's illegal.
Well, I think before jumping to conclusions and accusations, I think the chief has a right to explain himself. And
That has nothing to do with it.
but I don't know what the process and what went on, and we can't sit here, and I don't want to second guess that. So
Mayor, with all due
let's let that
respect,
happen.
under law, you're charged with following the budget, and the thing, you write the checks, it kind of concerns me that you don't know why that was done, and you wrote the check for that amount of money.
You know how many departments that is here that am I going to go over and look at every check that they write?
For a $700,000 check, I think we ought to look twice at it. Yeah.
Well, actually, and this is exactly the kind of information that we should be free flowing, and so that
Right.
we come to the meeting.
We're told, we come to council, we ask the chief, and there's a memo says we can't ask.
Right, so before that, with all due respect, I understand what you're saying,
Yeah,
but we
that's-
couldn't do that, so, and we can talk about the budget because it's our council meeting. This
Right.
is the council's meeting, so we're able to talk about the budget.
Right. I'm saying that hopefully from this point forward, we'll be able to address that.
Absolutely.
But if they paid more for that, the contract's void if it's not in the budget.
Yeah, in my recollection of it is there was a separate entity, separate thing for equipment, and maybe that's what the total is, I don't know. I mean, But with the free flow of information, we can resolve this hopefully, you know, and have an answer before the meeting but yes, I mean, there would be an apparent concern here.
Well, I know how the process works and should work. So that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
But anyway, we'll work on that. But that's, anytime a situation like that does occur, it needs to be brought before the council and let the council know exactly what's going on, especially with an expenditure of that magnitude. But anyway,
Especially with a bid.
yeah, but again, that's what I'm saying. There's certain things you gotta do a certain way to be legal. You know, you just can't do what you wanna do when you wanna do it. That's against the law.
We'll get down to it.
Anyway,
Cemetery deeds?
I've got some
Anything
things,
else?
I mean,
I'm sorry.
we got the budget report, and I do have some concerns myself on the budget. Because I see a lot of things that there's negative where we've overspent the budget. And one of the things that's fairly consistent through all the departments is the workers' comp. Even the fire, the workers' comp premium was double what was budgeted, and we paid it. There should have been an emergency meeting to get the money put in the budget, because, again, we get into the thing, if you spend money over the budget, the workers' comp company can come in and say, look, our contract is void, and and there's some insurance saying the same way. They come in and say, our contract is void, we've not given you any insurance coverage. And I think it puts the city at great risk on those. I mean, there's there's a lot of negative things in there that are that should have just stopped. And administration is a budget for technical office supplies. We're 6 months through, budgeted $25,000, we spent $31,847. Electric construction for meters, the budget said we had $400 budgeted. We spent $275,986. Water department technical supplies, zero budgeted. We spent $26,359. Plant maintenance, zero. We spent $19,861. Sewer plant maintenance was zero. We spent $10,999. Cable construction, $150,000, we spent $205,000. So I mean, when we overspend that, those things are void. And I think it's this is supposed to be brought before, the budget is a law. It's not a guideline or anything, so I don't know if we got any explanation for going over the budget or 6 months out.
Would you like to call a meeting of the finance committee?
Under the law, the council passes the budget, the mayor administers it. So he writes the checks, he administers the budget. I don't know if we had any explanation here tonight or not.
well, it's the mayor's job and responsibility to present a budget to the council.
And administer it.
And administer. Now, if the council approves this budget as it's written,
That he can spend all the money up to the budget.
right. Now, also, there should be amendments to the budget.
Right.
If you like this KIA loan we're getting ready to get from Kentucky Infrastructure Association.
And it needs to be amended before we complete the loan.
Right. And that
Or
needs to be
that loan will
amended.
be legal.
That money that's coming in should be amended to the budget, as well as any of these overtures that you're talking about.
But the overtures, in other words, they need to be approved before you spend it over.
That's true.
So suppose, now, the council, sure, we can go back and we redo the budget and make it right, but then the money's right out the door. Our ability to object to it, question to it, becomes very limited because the money's out the door. Well, if we say no, then we don't have workers' comp insurance. We don't, I don't know what we go yank the meters out that we have,
Well, I know what you're saying there, but the bottom line is you just can't go spend money that you don't have budget.
That's right. I guess that's why I'm saying, I'm not arguing, we're agreeing.
You're saying we're spending money that we don't have budget.
Right.
And where it's coming from. So anyway,
All right.
that's the point I'm taking.
So-
Point well made, I should say.
explanation, or?
Well, the workers' comp is based on payroll, so what happens is we pay it at the beginning of the year, and then the guy from workers' comp comes in, he does the whole detail that day. There was something, I know in the fire department, I don't want to name names, but there was something that had happened previous fiscal year that we had to pay for this year. The meters, that was an electric meter project, it was supposed to be finished before the new budget, but while we were doing the second reading, that's when we found out the contractor wasn't doing what they were supposed to. It actually, we didn't spend as much last year, but we're spending it this year.
But I understand, when the mayor's supposed to bring the budget forward, he's got the amendments that we need to make it work, so. All right, that's all I have.
Okay, cemetery deeds?
Nothing.
Okay, no announcements. And right now, if you like, we're going to go into closed session to pursuant to 61.810F.
We need a motion in a second, sir.
I'll make the motion. Let me pull that back up. I had something else out here.
I'll second.
Well, he needs to announce it.
Yeah. All right, I move that the council members, the 6 council members, and Scott Crosby, that us 7 go into closed session pursuant to KRS 61.810F, relating discussions which might lead to discipline or dismissal of an individual employee without restricting that employee's right to the public hearing if requested pursuant to the council's investigation.
We need a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Buckner.
All in favor? Aye. Those opposed?
Is there anybody else outside? Or?
We're it.
That's
The
it?
mayor left? The mayor's gone?
Once I find out if you're out of executive session, I can discuss it.
Okay. I move that we come back out of executive session.
A second.
Let me record the time, please. Yes, the mayor did leave.
All right. Well, we got a pending motion, and I guess we don't have a chair, but all in favor say aye.
Gentlemen, you will need to choose a chair.
But we got to come out first, executive session, then we'll
You
choose.
did,
the
sir.
chair.
We did.
Okay, aye, oh, okay. I didn't know we got to vote, okay.
We just
all
have
vote
to
on it, though?
vote on pro tem.
You gotta select somebody.
Okay.
Yeah, we should take a vote on.
Yes, sir, you need to make a
session.
motion in a second and vote on
Well, first, I don't
choosing.
think we voted to come out of session.
Yes, you did, Dick and Councilman Copeland.
All right.
So we should make a motion for a pro tem mayor,
That's not pro tem, it's just presiding officer.
presiding officer. Well, I make a motion, is, who, John? He's gonna make the motion. You do it, Dick, he's gonna make the motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion that John can.
You be the chair is what he's
You be the
saying.
presiding.
So I'm gonna be making the motion, so we don't lose our legislative power,
Okay.
maybe.
So,
If you're gonna make a recommendation, can I start the record again? Thank you.
I'll make a recommendation.
oh, that I become the presiding officer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good boy.
Second.
What?
Wait a minute, she's
Could you
waiting.
wait, please?
Oh, sorry.
Just 1 second. Did y'all turn my machine off?
I think we kicked it, unplugged.
You told us we can turn it off? We thought we need to, so yes.
Okay. It'll take about 4 minutes for it to come up.
Okay, I guess we ought to have the door open so everybody knows we're not in closed session still while we're waiting.
The door's not locked. Okay, it's recording. So Councilman Buckman, are you making a
Yeah, I'd
motion?
like to make a motion that Dick Heaton be our presiding officer to finish this meeting. Okay.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, we're out of closed session, so we want to resume our meeting this evening. Is there any discussion from, for the balance of the evening in regards to any other new business or old business?
Mr. Chairman, I've got a motion. During this investigation, it's kind of taken us in different directions on different things. And in my experience as county attorney, when you get into an investigation or something, you know, it usually goes out on tangents, like an octopus or something. You know, you got a lot of arms. It just keeps on, you know, when you investigate, you keep on finding out more things that need to be looked at. And in fact, the city attorney had mentioned it, I think, in an email on some of the open records requests, that he was questioning whether we've gone beyond the scope of the envelopes being left at the door and whether we need to look at expanding the investigation. So I want to make a motion. I move that that we expand the scope of the investigation to government matters requiring further investigation by our investigator, and that this investigation be concluded by April 15th unless further extended by the council.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Thank you.
Okay, motion carried. So, any other business to bring before the council this
I
evening?
think we finished the agenda.
Could I ask that there be a reflection that no action was taken during the executive session?
Sure.
Yes.
Councilman Williams, you normally do that,
Yes,
so
that's correct.
could I make that make that mention in the minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I do have a question, if I could go back a little bit. And I
All right.
apologize. On this expense report, should that have been the mayor and council for that training? Because if I'm not mistaken, he actually was registered for the COA.
The municipal order covers just for council training only.
But can we request that the mayor's expenses also be tallied as well?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, the municipal order, I don't think requires to be brought out at the meeting.
Yes, it
Yeah.
did, sir.
It does? Okay. That's what I asked earlier in December of the mayor, if he'd send us all the ones that we need to be aware of that affect our job. And
Well,
Yeah.
didn't I have a chance to send that to your attention?
I have not seen that one. You sent me the one about the abbreviated motions and parliamentary procedure, but can you send me any other ones that you can think of that apply to council members then?
So
Well, Councilman Williams, would you like to refresh their memory on what happens in the municipal order for training?
Okay, well, we had set some financial parameters that you're referring to.
Well, I mean, you don't have to, she can send me the
Oh.
thing, and I can read it. You don't have to try to remember what it said. I'm fine with reading it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, is there anything else to bring before the council this evening?
I'll move you adjourned.
Have a motion?
Second.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.